Welcome once again, fellow collectors, hot toys enthusiasts. This is Optical 20 once again for another video review, and this time it's for Iron Man 3 Mark 33 Silver Centurion from Hot Toys. And as usual, we're gonna start off with the box. Really eye-catching box. It's bright red, I guess cherry red or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's the same format of box, just really eye-catching because of its color with the silver lining and the bright red paint on it. But before I begin, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Eric. He basically sponsored this review because I bought this figure. You know, there's a double rewards, I believe, in SIDESHOW, and I basically picked this up, and he bought it for, you know, I took a loss and everything, and he picked it up pretty cheap from me, so you know, it works out well for us. He's mostly an Iron Man collector as well, so thanks, Eric. Big shout out to you, man. And moving on, it's just the inner, you know, this is basically what it looks like. I haven't even taken out of the packaging yet, so yeah, there's a clamshell inside of the plastic housing too. I guess that's to protect the paint, because the paint is just gorgeous on this figure. So I've never seen that before. And moving on to the accessories, it doesn't come with much. Even with hands, it doesn't really come with a lot either. But it comes more than, you know, the other Iron Legions that has been, you know, released throughout this franchise, the Iron Man 3. I believe this is the articulated fingers. As you can see, the hole there, that is where you're gonna put the metallic blades that I would show later on. This one does not have the hole because this is the repulsor hand. So you can see the angled hole there, so you can put that to his arms, and it does light up, so you can recreate that iconic repulsor blast look. And as you can see, the difference between the articulated one, it doesn't have the black paint apps on the joints of the fingers. And moving quite along, and it by the way, it also comes with fisted hands, which is installed into the figure right now. Look at this paint apps, it's just gorgeous, it's amazing. Look at that apple, cherry, whatever red that is. To me it's just red, but it's just beautiful. This is the battle damage chest plate. You see there's a lot of scuffs and details on it. It even has a broken glass for his arc reactor, and that is the 4 peg hooks that, you know, just gets inserted to his chest. And here we go. Pretty sure you've seen this if you bought a recent Iron Man. Batteries does not come pre-installed, so you have the option to install it yourself or not. And it doesn't come with the screwdriver though, so I wish it did. I mean, you can't find an easy screwdriver anywhere, but I kind of like the official Hot Toys one because it's pretty cool, and it's the same match, so you don't strip the screw or whatever. And this is his blade. It's actually die cast, so be careful on handling this. You might get poked in your finger or whatnot. You didn't see it on I'm pretty sure the camera didn't catch it, but on the tip of that blade, it actually has a pretty cool sculpt. It not sculpt, but a paint app. It's kind of like burnt on the edge, so it's kind of like getting dark. And this is how you insert it into his you know, his palms or hands. Yep, like I said, there's just that little hole, and sometimes it doesn't fit in right away, so you just gotta, there's really no right or wrong way on putting it in, but you just kind of have to, it's a trial and error basically. And the biggest accessory of it all, the stand, which you've probably seen before. He pretty much have the same stand, I would say, as Heartbreaker, him. You know, I didn't keep up with all the Iron Legions, but I'm pretty sure they've used this stand more than one time. I know I've seen this one, and this, you know, it has a battery compartment, but it does not light up, so just keep that in mind. That's a bummer, actually. I hope it did light up. And one gripe I have too is that it doesn't come with any, you know, like nameplate or whatnot. Even the power post, what's his name, the Red Snapper has one. I wish this would have came with one, because so you know it's a cool display option. And this one came with the secondary head sculpt, which is pretty cool because the other Iron Legions didn't come with one. I guess because of the reason that he actually wore this suit in the movie, so they kind of have to put like the Tony Stark head sculpt because his faceplate actually went up. So, but Yeah, I mean, bang for the buck, I guess this is better just because of all these accessories. When I mean all, whatever it is that you saw, so it's not even that much. But like I said, compared to, let's say, Heartbreaker or Star Boost, you know, you're getting more for your money here. And here you go, this is the battle damage head sculpt. It's being connected via magnet, kind of like with Iron Patriot, so you can have that look where the faceplate is on top of his head and you're exposing his face. So that's a pretty cool option, like I said. And I mean, the head sculpt that they used, it's not really groundbreaking or anything new. It's the same, I would say it's the same head sculpt as the mechanic. So you can see there may be different positioning of blood. I know a mechanic, he has more blood on the right hand side of his eye. This one is on the left, and some on the cheek. But overall, it looks pretty much the same. Yep. And now moving on to the details on the figure itself. It's beautiful. Lots of details, as you can see in this video. I hope you're watching this on HD. It's not one of those repainted Iron Man figures where, you know, they just slap a new paint. I believe this is an entirely new, you know, sculpt or whatever. And it's pretty amazing. It's bulky, unlike Mark 42. It gives you that, you know, like bulkiness robot kind of feel, and it's unique. That's what I love about it. It's a unique figure. If I was into Iron Man, I would definitely keep this, but there's a lot of things coming out soon, so I gotta keep my reviews going. So that's why I kind of sold it to my buddy Eric, but I know he's gonna be in good hands, so you know, he'll be better well served off with him than on my collection. And this is how you remove. This is a clean plate, and when you remove it, this is how it looks like. You know, there's a lot of details inside, and those are the 4 peg hooks. I mean, peg holes, as you can see there. Even without that, it looks pretty cool. And look at that arc reactor. A lot of details on it. It's amazing, and it's really bright too. It's pretty amazing. Like that. And this is how you're gonna put the battle damage version. I don't want to put it in completely, but you can see. You see that angle right there. It has a broken glass piece. It looks fantastic. Even though he doesn't come with a lot of battle damage pieces, I would say, you know, it's a more than good enough look. And on the side, his patented, you know, shoulder pads makes him Centurion. This one moves around so you can articulate the hands freely. He has good range of motion too for a plastic figure. His elbows bends right there. So you can see that. Pretty good bend. 90 degrees. And you can extend it as well. I don't know to what extent, but you could. Here you go. And his legs. He's really bulky. The paint apps is amazing as well. Look at that. Look at all those details on his foot. This one is... you know, there's movable parts in there, so definitely you can move it around. And as you can see in his calf area, on his the back of his knee, this one opens up. It's kind of tricky because you don't want to open it up too much, otherwise you take it off. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna break it even if you do take it off, but I guess it's only meant to be opened this way. As you can see, there's some gadgets and a lot of details on his I guess you can call that, you know, the back of his calves or something. I don't know if it's a jetpack. I don't think it's a jetpack, but that is where the batteries are located at, and also the switch to his arc reactor. So you just kind of, this is first time I'm removing stuff, so it's a bit hard and trying to balance it, and you know, it flew away. It didn't really flew away that hard. Okay, went off screen there for a second, but it's all right. Go. There's a big table right next to me, so Eric, your figure is good. All right, so that's the battery compartment right there, and you can see the on and off switch. Turn it on and off. The arc reactor light is pretty impressive. It's quite bright, and even on the backhand side, you know, you don't really need to put the backpack if you don't want to, but I guess it adds to the bulkiness of the figure. So you can see his left side here. It's pretty amazing. All the details is great, and like I said earlier, it's pretty articulated for a plastic figure. You know, you can really see how far the Iron Man line has come a long way, you know. And this is this arc reactor. You can see it's bright LED lights. Pretty nice. Way here. And I just want to show you some articulation for this guy. I'm not going to go too much, not going to go too crazy about the articulation, but I like the... You see the head sculpt, it moves upwards, which is pretty cool. Not as much as if you put the... so you can put him in a nice flying pose and whatnot. The waist area, there's a lot of range movements here. You can see it kind of, when you pull it up, kind of separates, and you pull them down. So, you know, I would say better look or whatnot, but this is the newest part. You know, back in the day of my Mark 7, you can pretty much articulate the legs and whatnot, but this one you can pull it down, and that gives you a lot of range of motion. So you can see here it kind of separates from the leg, and you pull it up, and look at that, you can bend it to 90 degrees, and his double jointed knees, so you can bend this far. But yeah, you can do a lot of poses with this guy. And elbows, you can actually pull the elbows down, so you have more range as well. Not too much, but yep, pretty nice articulation for this plastic figure. And now for the head sculpt. Where did I see that? I guess with, I don't know if it, another review, you know, I don't want to take credit for it, but they said it's the same head sculpt as Fightin'. I don't know if it's Rick or someone. Yeah, sorry if I don't remember. But the paint apps is really amazing. It's really shiny and bright, really an eye-catching color. How it lights up, it kind of annoys me, but every Iron Man release on the head sculpt kind of annoys me these days anyway. So what you gotta do is, you know, you don't really need long fingers, but you gotta pop this open. There you go. And trying to avoid hitting the camera here and remain on focus at the same time. And that is the light up. As you can see, the switch right in front. What happened to the good old days of Mark 7, man? I'm still kind of upset about that. Put that back. Stop hiding this switch. Is making it hard for us and whatnot. There you go. It lights up. It's pretty cool when it lights up. You know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. You know, kind of put it right back there. You know, I'm not gonna. There you go. I'm gonna just snap in there. Some fingerprints. Yep, that's what I hate about it. You know, it's a nice paint apps, and you hate to scratch it if you do stuff like that. You know, I mean, try not to make it so hard for, you know, us collectors. And now you gotta just take this out. I mean, I'm not trying to take it out actually on this one. I'm just trying to show you the range of movement of his head. So the one that I showed you earlier, if you see the articulation, it only looks up at a certain angle. This one moves all the way up here. So if you decided to put him on like a flying pose, there's two joints, one on the neck and one on the actual head sculpt itself. Not head sculpt, but there's a peg where the sculpt is connected. So you get that range of motion. So it looks pretty cool. Pretty much the same as Mark 7. And on this guy, this is the I would say battle damage version. This, you can see the scratches and everything on the faceplate, burnt marks you see on the silver one. I hope you're watching this on HD, because that's where you're only gonna really appreciate the look of the battle damage of this figure. Look at that. And on the side, some burnt marks as well. So it's not as bright as the regular head. As you can see here, like the paint apps is, it should be the same color but different different, I would say, application of paint. This one, as you can see, the burnt marks on the side of the faceplate and the side of the head, some scratches and scuffs that honestly I didn't even see when they're in my hand, but now that watching this alongside with you while I'm recording the audio, it's like, wait, they have scratches on the ear and everything too. So yeah, it complements well on his chest piece. I just wish that they included more battle damage pieces, because this guy would look good in a battle damage, you know, like battle damage shoulder pads, some on his arm piece and whatnot. So next time they really should give us some here. And this is the Tony Stark head sculpt. Like I said, kind of like the mechanic version. It looks pretty cool overall. You know, you can definitely see Robert Downey Jr. in this sculpt, and I really don't. I guess because it doesn't have a hair, I think that's where the majority of the likeness kind of throws off some of the figures. It's when once you put the hair, especially with the Mark 7, kind of looks like a different person. But the fact that he doesn't have a hair here, well, he does, but you can't see it, kind of makes it more look like him, so to speak. You know, I like this look. You can see you're staring from afar. It's nice. It's a nice sculpt, even though it's just a reuse of the mechanic. I think it fits very well. And this one, there you go, how you put that in. As you saw earlier, I just showed you the magnet. So this is a good look right here. You know, combine it with a battle damage chest piece, and looks like he just came off a battle. Or this is the look where he was trying to save Pepper. So there you go. And you know, you're trying to throw in some poses here. I put him on my rotating base. It looks like he's like walking, just all injured and whatnot, with one blade sticking out. You know, like he's ready for a mission. As you can see, his bulkiness on his hips, on his abdominal area. He just looks different. So you can see I didn't, you know, attach the backpack just for easy access for my for the lights. And this is him with both blades attached. Light little chest piece. Now with a backpack attached. Looks great, you know. In several poses as well, whether he's walking or, you know, doing action pose, or just a stagnant, like this guy, you know, like a stagnant standing up and down pose. And you know, I tried to put him on a flying pose, which I think works pretty well. You know, like he looked like he's flying with his two repulsor hands. And like I said, the neck area, you know, it gives you that good range of, you know, motion as far as his head is concerned. You can even make this bend a little bit more. I just don't want to go too crazy on it. But as you can see, look at those his hind legs. It's nice. It can bend in different ways. And this is one thing that you won't get from diecast figures, is make them fly, and you make them put in a flying motion because they're too heavy. And that is pretty much it. You know, the Action TT is not included if you buy this figure. But yeah, overall, in my opinion, it's an excellent figure. If you're an Iron Man collector, this is a definite must. He's a different look, you know, different armor, classic armor, so to speak. You can even get this and create your own classic, you know, Avengers or whatnot. You can pass on some. I'm not a big fan of collecting Iron Legion because I don't have the money nor the space to collect them all. But if you do, or even if you don't, even if you're reserving some you know, armors for here and there, I would say this is one of the better ones to be picked up. You know, him and Heartbreaker looks different, so I would totally recommend them. And once again, thank you for watching, guys.